Okay, we are going through our book of the month for June. And the idea here is really to highlight a book that we read in the past month and give our take on why it made an impact on us and some of the key takeaways. So, with that, we'll start with you, Mrs. Deaton, and what your book of the month was.
Well, the book that I really enjoyed this month is it's called The Gap and the Gain. It's a really fantastic read. Dan Sullivan and his co-author Benjamin Hardy, they introduced the concept of getting out of the gap and staying in the gain. And while we all have personal or business goals that we want to reach, it's good to measure the success backwards, to look where we started and see the progress that we've made and how far we've come, instead of measuring the success from where we are and to where we want to go. And it challenged everything I knew about success, achievement, and helps me to stay in the gain at all times and makes me feel on top of the world, really. So I highly recommend it. How about you, Mike?
Nice. Yeah, I also read The Gap and the Gain and had similar takeaways from you. I'm gonna shoot a question to you though, put you on the
Okay.
spot. Was there or has there been an actionable takeaway for you, like something that you do as a result of reading the book that um,
Yes. So what I've realized is that, and they actually mentioned that in the book, that it's impossible not to be in the gap. It's impossible not to be discouraged, where you see yourself where you are and how far you have to go to reach your goals. But to give yourself 5 minutes, you can stay 5 minutes in the gap and then shake it off, get out of there, and remember to stay in the game. So I think that's an action that I followed
nice?
after reading the book.
Yeah, I also have a takeaway like journaling in the
Mhm.
evenings. I've started listing out 3 wins for the day, so it's a way to look at things from a gain perspective. Like,
Yes.
I had out of my day, I accomplished these 3 things and kind of end your day on a high note. So
That's a good one.
great stuff. All right, so for me, I'm going a bit of a different direction. Not a business related book. It's a little more personal book, but there's a book here, The Life You Can Save by Peter Singer. I heard him on a podcast. I think it was a Rich Roll podcast that I heard him on, but he's a philosopher and he has made it his life's part of his life's purpose to really improve the lives of others.
Mhm.
And so this book, he gives it away. Like you can buy it on Amazon or any other book platform. You can also go onto their website, which is of the same name, thelifeyoucansave.org. You can request a free copy. They'll send you one. It's an audiobook format on podcast platforms. So, for instance, you can go to iTunes and find the Life You Can Save podcast, and they will narrate it. There's different celebrities that read each chapter and go through there. So, a lot of different ways to access the book. As far as the takeaways, he, as I said, he's a philosopher, so he runs through some of the moral obligations of the importance of giving back and helping our fellow humans that just happen to be born in a location that doesn't have all the amenities that we are really fortunate to grow up with here in the United States. So a lot of the moral obligations, arguments for giving. He goes through the counter arguments that a lot of people use for not giving and some objections or ways to overcome those objections. And then he and his foundation really look into what are the most impactful organizations where your dollar goes the farthest, and they summarize those on the website. They also have funds that will you can donate to the lifeyoucansave.org, and you can pick, I want this to go to Empowering Women Fund or to children with certain diseases or different types of funds, or you can just do an all-purpose fund. But very effective website, and it had a really profound impact on me and how so much more room I have to give, both time and money in my life. How fortunate I am, and how really giving back does that. And so, I've started a fundraiser on Facebook to help with that. I'm also personally going to be giving back. They have a way that you can make recurring payments and charitable donations, a lot of different ways. But really big impact on me last month when I heard him speak, and then also picked up the book and read through the book. So really enjoyed it, and the impact it made on me.
That's great.
All right, so there you have it. 2 books from us: The Life You Can Save or The Life You Can Save, The Gap and the Gain. Encourage you to check them out. They transformed our way of thinking, and even some very actionable items out of it. And I think they likely will you too. Love to hear from you. What are some great books that you've read that made a big impact on you that we should pick up next? Later.